Welcome to River City Folk. I'm your host, Tom May. Each week, River City Folk brings you the best in acoustic music by traditional and contemporary songwriters from across North America. This week, my guest is Ann Hills from Pennsylvania with her beautiful voice and songs. We hope you'll take some time to join us.
In St. Mary's, West Virginia, out on Federal Ridge, looking past the farmhouse, there's a bridge where the Sugar Creek winds past abandoned fields and mines, and a 1936 Chevy in a ditch. And you can feel the summer heat in the air and at your feet, with cicadas' voices rising in the sun. I can be there in a minute, see the tractor, I'm in it, by my papa, when my childhood had begun. So roll these moments back and leave me standing solid in the track. Then let the child inside me guide me home, and in the forests of my childhood let me roam. Now I can hear my grandpa saying, child, we only learn to live just about the time it's time for us to die. And the lessons that we learn are the bridges that we burn, always with us, yet behind us out of sight. So roll these moments back and leave me standing solid in the track. Then let the child inside me guide me home, and in the forests of my childhood let me roam. 'Cause nothing stops the passing of the years, or can keep away the trouble and the tears. But many times after, we remember the laughter when we need to find a shelter from our fears. In St. Mary's, West Virginia, out on Federal Ridge, looking past the farmhouse, there's a bridge where the Sugar Creek winds past abandoned fields and mines, and a 1936 Chevy in a ditch. Oh, roll these moments back and leave me standing solid in the track. Then let the child inside me guide me home, guide me home.
And that song that you started us with today, The Child Within, has taken me safely home on many, many journeys. I love that piece of music. You're from Pennsylvania these days, but you really began your career in folk music in the Chicago area.
Right after that was that big folk boom in Chicago when Stevie Goodman got discovered and John Prine. Yeah, that's when I moved to Chicago and started playing.
Another fellow who I know that you've worked with in Chicago is Tom Paxton, who actually wrote some notes for an album of yours a few years ago.
My first solo album, yes. Yeah, I sang backup with Bob Gibson, opened a couple shows, and he had me sing on Tom Paxton's records. So that's how I got to know him.
You really began doing many other people's songs on your earlier albums, but now, and the songs we'll be hearing today are really your own compositions.
Mostly my own now, yeah.
Right now, you're going to give us one of those new songs, I
Right.
believe.
This is about the silk mills that used to be, there were about 40 operating looms in silk looms mills in the Pennsylvania area where I come from, Bethlehem, Allentown. And they all closed down about 3 years ago. The last of them closed. And so this is a more pensive side of that. This was my life, she said, this and my family, 8 hours a day of hard work and good company. It's just a job to you. No matter what happened, this place pulled me through. All of the gossip, the coffee and cigarettes, not much vacation time, but I have no regrets. When I walked through these doors, I was more than a mother with children and chores. And she's missing the sound of the looms, missing the feel of the weave in her hand. Her children are grown and she's here on her own, and she's missing the sound of the looms. I get up early, a habit too hard to break. Watching the sunrise, my heart and my fingers ache. Those years raced along, just like the silk train, here and then gone. And she's missing the sound of the looms, missing the feel of the weave in her hand. Her children are grown and she's here on her own, and she's missing the sound of the looms. The end of another long day, the hours turn slowly, more slowly than the dust in the shafts of light. And restless with memories, I'll toss in the night. 'Cause it's not just the job that you do, it's the family and friends who you helped and who helped you. The lives we share, woven together with work, love, and care. And she's missing the sound of the looms, missing the feel of the weave in her hand. Her children are grown and she's here on her own, and she's missing the sound of the looms. Oh, missing the sound of the looms.
And I can just see that woman sitting there remembering her life in front of that loom.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned some writers from Chicago, but we didn't really have a chance to mention a writer that has been so important to you in your
Yes.
life and so many people, and that is Michael Smith.
Yeah. Michael's a wonderful writer, and my latest record is of all of his songs. And I met him when I moved there. He moved to Chicago about the same time from Detroit, and we started working, and he would play bass behind Tom Paxton and Bob Gibson and I when we sang together, and that's how our friendship began. And now we write songs together and work on projects and do evenings together. So.
It's so funny to think of Michael Smith as a bass player. I know he did it years ago.
Well, I
too,
know,
but-
now that he's been, done the music for the Grapes of Wrath and all of that.
And actually right now you're going to give us a song that was written about a woman who appeared in a stage production of The Grapes of Wrath, with which Michael did the music for.
Right. They got to celebrate, because the show went for 3 years, they got to celebrate everybody's birthday 3 times. And Rhonda Reed, Michael wrote this song for her birthday, and they all piled into, the story goes into one of the lavatories and recorded it into a little tape recorder. But I liked it because it brings up images of Chicago. of October turn November brown. Winter's always early in Chicago town. White caps on Lake Michigan, gray and moody sky. Runners in the park like ghosts of last July. Red leaves of October, beautiful and wild, blew down the street. I chanced to meet a late October child. One more day of sunshine made the city smile. Rhondas' birthday, summer for a while. Birds fly south together, whispering on high. Underneath the branches, someone's passing by. Hands in her pockets and kicking up the leaves. Stories in her eyes and secrets up her sleeves. The red leaves of October, beautiful and wild, blew down the street. I chanced to meet a late October child. One more day of sunshine made the city smile. Rhondas' birthday, summer for a while. Wind is turning colder, sky is getting dark. Promises of winter blow through Lincoln Park. Standing in a doorway and waiting out the rain, remembering as if it was just yesterday. The red leaves of October, beautiful and wild, blew down the street. I chanced to meet a late October child. One more day of sunshine made the city smile. Rhondas' birthday, summer for a while. Rhondas' birthday, summer for a while. Oh, Rhondas' birthday.
And in your own impeccable, lovely style, you have interpreted songs by some of the finest writers in North America. Whatever gave you the confidence to begin doing some of your own material, which you are pretty much now exclusively doing?
Well, early on, Tom Paxton gave me the advice to do a lot of other people's songs until you had enough of your own that were really good and really measured up before you started doing your own songs. Just be sure. So I've always compared a lot, and my audiences have really been the people who've kind of told me that they want more of my songs, that my songs are the ones they like.
Right now you're going to play one of your newer tunes, and when I first heard this song, I just imagined driving across Nebraska.
It's a driving song. It
on
really
a beautiful fall day.
Yeah, yeah. Get that driving motion. If you're coming in the summer, you'd be better to split off on 35. There's the Starlight Drive-In movie on your left, just beyond the county line. Right after that, you'll see two silos. One is silver, one is blue. About a quarter-mile further, make a left onto Highway 42. Then follow that road just as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me. If you're driving by in autumn, you should follow up the river to Bear Lake. That's the time to see the colors. There's an old covered bridge you'll want to take. Late at night, be careful. Just be sure to watch for deer out on the road. And if it's early in the morning, sometimes it gets foggy, take it slow. But follow that road, sugar maples far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me, back to me. And if you get the notion in December to drop by for just a day, there's that tiny little road that no one knows about. It's safe to go that way. It's up between two fields, so the sunlight melts the ice by afternoon. You'll see two houses by the fields. Someone's always there. If not, they'll be back soon. So follow that road. Snow drifts just as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me, back to me. And you'll remember in the springtime how the puddles look like pieces of the sky. Falling down by the roadside to delight any stranger passing by. The softness of the grass on Raven's Hill, where we counted stars all night. You must know how much I miss you, and that any way you get here is all right. Just follow that road, wildflowers just as far as you can see. Follow that road, back through time, back through distance, back to me, back to me. Just follow that road.
And one of the things I think that makes folk music really unique is that oftentimes it talks about the history of a person or the history of a region. And this next song is really a history, a short history about the part of the country that you come from.
Right, about the silk mills that I referred to earlier. This is kind of the flip upside of that celebration of people's lives from them. This here loom years old. Me and Mary, we're a little older. We've been here since 1918. Now the factory's closing down. This loom came from another mill that was falling into a river. Me and Mary, we came here from Austria together, and on a hot summer night you could hear these looms, they never shut them down. Weaving and spinning the silken dreams of the workers in Allentown. Back in the days when I moved here to try my hands as a weaver, we made silk that could circle the world more than 30 times around. We made silk for the Navy flags of the finest Bamberg thread. We made silk that could beat the best. That's what we always said. And on a hot summer night, you could hear these looms, they never shut them down. Weaving and spinning the silken dreams of the workers in Allentown. Now me and Mary and all these looms, we're the last ones at the factory, sick or expired or just plain tired. All those weavers come and gone. Young folks now, they don't see the sense of a skill whose time is run. Stop the clock and close up shop. This silk mill's day is done. But on a hot summer night, you could hear these looms, they never shut them down. Weaving and spinning the silken dreams of the workers in Allentown. This here loom is 50 years old. Me and Mary, we're a little older.
Well, Ann, we met at the Kerrville Folk Festival, and right now we're going to do a song together by a fellow that you also met at the Kerrville Folk Festival.
Right, and I heard this song at the Kerrville Festival, and people would sit around the campfires and join in on choruses of songs that they knew. And John Imms, who since has become quite a well-known writer, wrote it, and everybody seemed to know it. So I figured I ought to record it.
It's one of my favorite songs, being a road musician myself, Ann. And I hope everybody around the country will pick up their instruments and join us. We're going to play it in the key of E, a song by John Imms called Two of a Kind.
One that you don't hear until the moon is full and bright.
Another midnight on the highway, Houston in the distance. Seems I'm always leaving love behind. Singing along with someone whose soul is on the radio. Sounds like me and the good old boy are two of a kind. Bedding down in a cheap hotel, put you in touch with an emptiness the pickers know too well. Hit you hard when you drop your boots and you lay back on that bed, thinking about the tunes that are running all around your head. Then you fumble with that dial till you hear that melody that's singing soft and sweet. There you are again with him somewhere down the line, and feeling just a little bit better when you hear his guitar whine. Another midnight on the highway, Houston in the distance. Seems I'm always leaving love behind. Singing along with someone whose soul is on the radio. Sounds like me and the good old boy are two of a kind. Another midnight on the highway, Houston in the distance. Seems I'm always leaving love behind. Singing along with someone whose soul is on the radio. Sounds like me and the good old boy are two of a kind. And Hills, thank you for sharing that song with me and your music with us today.
My pleasure.
Thank you for helping us out on that song. I'm your host, Tom May, and I hope you'll tune in next week for River City Folk.